Hello everyone and welcome to the Tank Club. While you can't beat a good MMORPG on a high performing PC or even on a console these days, there are some quality MMORPGs that are available for mobile devices. Perfect for those times where you crave some fun combat while on the move, or maybe a touch of fishing and character progression to distract you from dinner with the in-laws, or maybe even an auto-playing game to run while you're at work. Mobile MMORPGs can be great for easy accessibility, and these games are typically free to play, but a large amount of the games you'll find on mobile devices are quite often littered with ads, auto-playing, and even worse, pay-to-win and microtransactions. In this article, we're looking at the best mobile MMORPGs for 2024 that have active developers who are still updating the game, and we'll be looking at all of the details, whether they're fun, how much autoplay is involved, and how bad the pay-to-win is. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favourite ever mobile MMORPG game? I'm really excited to find out which ones you guys are playing. So at the bottom of the list, with a store rating of 3.9 out of 5, we've got Celtic Heroes Mobile. This is a 3D MMORPG set in a mythical Celtic world, offering open world exploration, dungeons, and clan wars. It focuses on cooperative gameplay and community engagement. The monetization of this game is more on the fair side, with in-app purchases mainly focusing on cosmetics and some convenience items. It does aim to maintain a balanced experience for all players. From my personal playthrough, I did find this to be a bit older than some of the others that you're going to see on this list, and it's quite noticeable nowadays, looking at it from a graphical standpoint and kind of how the gameplay is. It's still a good mobile MMO game, however, which will keep you occupied for hours. It has more of a retro style and it's a bit more basic than some of the more modern games, but if that's your thing, then this one is well worth a try. Next on the list, we've got Perfect World Mobile. This has a store rating of 4.3 out of 5, and it's a revival of the classic PC MMORPG. This game offers a vast open world, flight exploration, and extensive character customization. It's known for its fantasy setting and rich storytelling. The monetization of this game, it features in-app purchases that can impact gameplay, very much leaning towards pay to win. Players can buy items that enhance power and speed up progression. Playing this game, it's easy to think that it's a new release and that it might be a beta or early access, with how unfinished it feels from the very first moment playing. The game has been out for years and has also just been ported onto Steam, and it does seem to be getting frequent updates looking at the app history. It's an auto-playing game for the most part, and there also doesn't seem to be a way to stop it from auto-questing, other than closing down the game, which is really frustrating when you're trying to do things and it just keeps running off and doing quests. You can also turn on auto combat, which means you barely need to actually play this game. It is a decent looking game, but it's really not that fun. It's heavily pay to win, and it's genuinely shocking how highly it's rated on the App Store, especially because the cutscenes aren't very good. The voiceover is kind of intermittent, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and it cuts off, so you can't even read the dialogue for the quest that you're doing. So it's quite a poor one in my opinion, but it is quite highly rated and fairly popular. The next game on the list is Adventure Quest 3D. This has a store rating of 4.4 out of 5, and it's a cross-platform MMORPG with a quirky and engaging world. It offers real-time combat, a class system, and regular updates. The game is known for its humour and community-centric approach. With the monetization of Adventure Quest, it primarily uses a fair model with cosmetic items and a one-time membership option. It avoids pay-to-win elements, focusing on equal opportunities for progress. Now, Adventure Quest is a funny cartoon-style MMORPG with plenty of quests and humorous dialogue, which I found to be really funny. You'll bump into a range of different enemies and bosses, complete dungeons, and fight other players in PvP. It has a really nice flow to it, and you'll see a lot of other players running about, even at the very start, which was kind of interesting, and you don't really see that in as many games, especially on mobile. It's really easy to pick up and play this type of game. The story is mostly just cosmetic items, so the game avoids the typical mobile pay to win, and you'll even get a free gift emailed to you upon joining the game, which is a nice touch as well. Next, we've got Black Desert Mobile with a store rating also of 4.4 out of 5, and this one is known for its stunning graphics and action-packed combat even on mobile. This game brings the high-quality MMORPG experience of Black Desert to mobile devices. It does feature extensive character customization, dynamic combat, and an in-depth world. When it comes to monetization, it does include microtransactions for cosmetic items, pets, and convenience features. There are some concerns over the pay-to-win elements, as certain purchases can significantly impact the gameplay. From playing it myself, you're gonna have to clear some space on your device because this is a huge game. If you're an MMORPG fan, then you'll need to try Black Desert Mobile. This is a fast-paced and beautiful game. At the start, you'll get a good story with full voice acting, and I actually kind of prefer the mobile version to the desktop version of this game. The combat is nice, there are some auto aspects to it if you choose to turn it on. It's a bit simpler than the PC version, and there's also an option to buy auto questing, so it does have the option of being quite a kind of AFK game where it can just run by itself, which is up for debate whether you like that kind of thing or not. When you are actually playing with the combat is nice. The only major downside is the store, where you can just pay to win on quite a few different levels, but you're also able to just grind through the game. If you're not too worried about being competitive with other players and you just want to sit back and enjoy the game, then this is a really good one to go for. You can create a season character when you start the game, which will give you some nice progress and allow you to kind of speed through that progress much faster than you would do normally, which is a really good thing as well to help you catch up with long-time players. You are incentivized to log in daily with lots of different login rewards, lots of different events, and there's just a lot of things going on. And also, this game has quite a large population. The next game we've got is Villagers and Heroes with a store rating of 4.5 out of 5. And this is a fantasy MMORPG that emphasizes cooperative play. It features housing, crafting, and a player-driven economy. It offers rich storytelling experience and a friendly community. When it comes to monetization, it does adopt a fair monetization strategy with optional purchases for convenience and cosmetics. It's designed to be enjoyable without spending money, so it does avoid some of the heavy pay-to-win mechanics. From our personal playthrough, it's a solid mobile MMO with a variety of content, raid bosses, and it's a really decent main story quest. Visually, it has a more vibrant, stylized and cartoonish appearance, similar to a kind of World of Warcraft style. The combat is fairly active and fun with a range of classes and playstyles, and the Lightning Warrior in particular was a new idea that I'd not really seen before, so I did enjoy playing that class. So this does seem like a real good little game to try out. It doesn't have those real auto aspects in there, so it is more of an active game to play. Next we've got Evil Lands MMORPG. This has a store rating of 4.5 out of 5. This is a fantasy action MMORPG that has good visuals. It's offering both co-op and PvP modes, and players can explore, complete quests, and fight against various creatures in a mythical world. With its monetization, it does utilize in-app purchases for cosmetic and progression accelerators. It does offer ways to purchase power, buy materials and gold, so there are some pay-to-win aspects. When we were playing it, this is one game that I've played quite a lot, but it was more of a while back now. It's kind of a game that gives me the old Elder Scrolls vibes. I think that's what really hooked me in just kind of how it plays and how it looks. It's a fun combat story MMO where you'll be straight into the thick of it, killing enemies, exploring and progressing your character. It is quite grindy and it does get quite hard very quickly, but this is mostly because a lot of the areas that you go to kill enemies, you just get swarmed with enemies. So when you go to one enemy and think you're just killing it 1v1, you will easily end up pulling 5+ enemies. So you do need to get good at kiting and trying to filter enemies so that you can kill a more comfortable amount at a time. The combat is semi-automatic where it does auto attacks and will auto switch enemies, but you will have to move the character around and move it out of different effects and also activate abilities. Overall, it's a pretty fun game that you will easily end up sinking quite a bit of time into if you kind of get into it. The next game is Lineage 2 Revolution, and this has a store rating of 4.5 out of 5. It's a mobile adaptation of the classic MMORPG, offering large-scale battles, beautiful graphics, and an expansive world. It's known for its clan-based systems, its dungeons, boss fights, and competitive PvP. With monetization, it features a mix of cosmetics and pay-to-advance faster options, which can introduce pay-to-win aspects, especially in the competitive scene. It is a fully fledged MMORPG in your pocket. It is very much an auto-playing game, however. It has auto-combat, auto-questing, auto-dungeons. There are so many things that are automated in this game. In some aspects, this is fine because it makes certain parts easier since you're playing on a small screen like a mobile, but you don't really do a whole lot yourself. Just make sure you manually move your character out of AoEs when fighting bosses. Since the game is a little bit old now, you will skip ahead to level 320. and you'll be given a ton of stuff in the beginning, along with skipping the main story quest to chapter 20. It's nice to be given a skip to catch up to the longer serving players so that you're not left behind for months or if not years, but you don't really know what's going on. The story doesn't really make a lot of sense because you've just skipped it. Some of the cutscenes and voiceovers are decent and a surprising addition. The pay to win isn't appealing, but it is a nice side game to run while working if nothing else. This is one of the games that I've kind of got hooked on while making this guide and this video, purely because it's a nice one to stick on the side and it'll just run, and then kind of just getting active and being active in it when I want to be. So I can understand why people would play this because I've been playing it quite a lot myself. The next MMO on the list is Albion Online with a store rating of 4.6 out of 5. This is a sandbox MMORPG set in a medieval fantasy world where players can farm, trade, and engage in combat. The game emphasizes a player-driven economy, PvP, and territory control. Now, the monetization with this game, it's free to play with a premium subscription option that offers accelerated progress and additional benefits. The game strives to maintain a balanced environment, making it relatively fair in terms of monetization. So this is a cross-play MMORPG. You can play it on both PC and mobile. So it was originally a PC game. This game works well on mobile because it's a successful game on PC. It's just ported over to mobile and it's cross-play. So you're already part of a successful world, a successful game. So they don't really have all these pay-to-win aspects, which is really, really nice. On the surface, this game does seem fairly simple. There's only a few skills that you use at a time. It's all related to your gear. There is no classes in this game. It's all about killing enemies, gaining fame, and leveling up all your different skill lines for your weapons and your armor. So it does get a lot more detailed as you progress. It's a very fun game with a lot of variety of content to do, but it can be slightly more difficult dealing with those harder combat situations while playing on mobile, especially PvP. And the one thing you've got to really be worried about is doing PvP while you're in a red zone or a black zone where you can lose your gear. And you definitely don't want to be kind of fighting players that might have a competitive advantage playing on PC, especially in those higher level, harder zones. I personally do love to play this game on mobile to do things like fishing, gathering, and also to harvest and plant crops on the farm in my stronghold. So doing your kind of housing and farming and stuff, it's a really, really good companion app, I think. It's a good companion to the PC version of the game. Now, there are plenty of players who play this on mobile, but I personally prefer this as more of a companion to the PC version of the game. Next on the list is Moonlight Blade with a store rating of 4.8 out of 5. This is a brand new mobile MMORPG inspired by ancient China. Moonlight Blade offers players high-flying martial arts combat and exploration in a visually stunning open world. Players can deeply customize their character and embark on story-driven quests, while also participating in a range of PvE, PvP and profession activities. This is a fully free-to-play MMORPG which includes cosmetics and convenience item purchases. There does seem to be some aspects of pay-to-win. And this game did kind of take me by surprise. It's graphically very, very nice. It is fully voice acted, although not in English, but it does have full English subtitles. The sounds are great, the visuals are great, and the style of the game feels very new and refreshing because even though it's an MMORPG, it does kind of filter more into this kind of Chinese theme with martial arts, which is really, really cool. The combat is very fast-paced and exciting, and the martial arts aspects allow for some really fun combat combinations. The story and cutscenes are all very beautiful and engaging. The character customization is very, very vast. And for a mobile game, this does really feel like a must play. You can play it on PC, but it is primarily a mobile game. So definitely give Moonlight Blade a try if you're looking for something new to play, especially on mobile. And last but not least, we've got Old School RuneScape with a store rating of 4.8 out of 5. It is our #1 mobile MMORPG. It's a classic MMO that brings the full RuneScape experience to mobile devices, offering a vast open world, a deep skill system, and engaging questlines. Old School RuneScape is known for its nostalgic value and a strong community-driven approach. The monetization is primarily subscription-based for full access to all skills and areas. It's considered fair as paying mainly accelerates progress rather than giving a direct competitive edge. Old School RuneScape is a timeless classic MMORPG and with its cross-playability, it means you can keep on progressing while on the move. It's obviously a bit more difficult playing on mobile in comparison to PC, as the UI is effectively the same, but this doesn't stop you from enjoying the game, progressing and leveling up all your skill lines. The game is still being updated on a regular basis with lots of daily active players. It also has a really good dev team that keep up really good communication with the community, making this one of the top MMORPGs on mobile. If you do like that nostalgia, if you do like that classic MMO feel, if you do want an active game that's very, very busy with lots of players and frequent updates, then old school RuneScape is the one for you. So I hope you found this video really, really useful on these mobile MMORPGs. Which ones are you going to try? I'm probably going to be progressing mostly on Lineage 2. I'm going to keep that AFK running. Moonlight Blade is something I'm going to play more actively, so I'm definitely looking forward to giving those more of a try. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.